All right. Hey everybody. So I'm gonna let Davey take over. They're watching a little bit of the basketball. I'm gonna be back in 5 minutes. I'm just finishing putting my kids to bed. But I'm happy that everyone is here. I'm gonna let Davey take over and talk about this live 64-64 game. That's pretty crazy between the Knicks and the Pacers, and Tim and C-Dub are also on the line. I'm gonna mute myself and finish putting them to bed, but I'll be right back to start the podcast in just a moment.
Well, good evening, everybody. Nice to have you all here. We're starting things a little bit early here, and yes, as mentioned, it's a tie game, and we have Siakam at the line about to shoot and missing the
Oh,
free
I
throw.
missed. Yeah.
Wow.
You know, NBA basketball players should not miss free throws.
Yeah, especially two. That's not good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
it's
missed them
rough.
both. Like, come
Yeah.
on, man.
I mean, Shaq I could kind of see because the way he was throwing the ball at the basket back in the day, that was just like he was like heaving potatoes at that thing back then. But
Right.
but most people should make their free
Ba-
throws. Like,
Backup center maybe Mick can miss two, but anybody else on the roster, that's tough. You got to make at
Yeah.
least one.
yeah. And just to flesh this out, like this is on the screen with us right now. So we have Tim, of course, who's one of Robbie's regulars, and we have C-Dub Guitar, who's making his debut on this program. So very exciting stuff, everybody. Like, I see you all here tonight. Welcome in. But yeah, it's. I think here's a question. I mean, I guess I'm not Robbie, but we won't get into like predictions. I think Robbie will get to that, but so I won't waste time with it. But um, this has been wild. Like this has been a fun game so far. I'm not
I
sure
really
who
like,
I'm.
I mean, we were talking about it a little earlier before we got live here, but I really like the tempo that Indiana's playing with.
Yeah, yeah, I
It's
love the
going to be
Yeah.
interesting. I don't know if you guys caught halftime, but Kenny did a thing about specifically about the tempo, and it's going to be interesting to see if the Knicks can keep it up because Indiana can run all day. They've got a deep bench. They can let guys sit and rest, and the Knicks don't have that. So, over the course of 5, 6, 7 games, it'll be interesting to see how their legs hold up.
Yeah. We also know that Indiana's really good as a home team. They've had a really good home record this year, and the Knicks have too, for what it's worth. So if the Pacers do win, because they're particularly dominant at home, especially their shooting, if they win a game, if they win this game tonight, wow, they are really going to be in the driver's seat for the rest of the series. It's going to be very interesting how this goes. It does feel like it's going to be a close series, just from what I know. I don't want to take too much, get into that too much right now, but. Oh, by the way, did you think that went out of bounds right there? That shot?
Oh, sorry, I missed it. I had to say hi to Carly. I haven't seen her in forever.
Carly,
Hi, Carly.
How's it going? Hey, Primordial Sound. What's up, Primo? Anybody in the mood for some Oreo cakesters?
Ooh.
Oh yeah,
those
the good
sound
stuff.
Yummy.
Yeah. I didn't know how good these were. Then I just saw them on the shelf. I'm like, I should try these out. And I'm like,
Yeah, what are they exactly?
So they're basically like, I don't know how to describe them. They're like cake, like chocolate cake.
Yeah, those like Hostess cakes. It's kind of that consistency.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it's better Oreo.
But it's
filling.
Oreo filling and okay.
Yeah. So a little less fake tasting, but kind of that nice soft consistency from a packaged baked good.
Oh, I might have to check those out. For my daughter, I might have to research them to see if that's something she would like, and then she could have them after I eat them all.
Yeah, whatever's left.
Yeah, exactly.
Get a Costco box worth, so you have enough, I guess.
Yeah, we started getting the Costco box of the they have like, I can't remember how many's in them. It's like 10 maybe. They just come in a little pack of regular Oreos. So good. And the nice thing about it is then it forces me to only eat however many come in the package, because if there's a full package of Oreos,
yeah, full sleeve. I know what you mean.
I'm bad. I'm really bad.
Yeah, Costco's like you only get 4 now or whatever it is. So
yeah,
that's better.
It's better. Forces you to have some control.
That's a great value. If they do sell cakesters there, that's a great value, because like I feel like you could get like 100 of them for like $20.
Yeah, just garbage truck full size.
Oh, and now I have a Oreo ad on my.
What
game.
you do, really?
That's creepy.
That
That's
is
wild.
scary. That is scary. Oh my god.
Yeah, Oreo should send a few bucks to Robbie, I guess, for today.
Yeah,
Oreo's listening to our podcast.
not
That's
good.
terrifying.
Not good at all.
No.
Terrifying or amazing. But anyway, I love how well I was listening to the whole show while I was, making bottles and doing all that sort of stuff. Do you see Zach make a couple appearances? I told him
I
that
did.
he did a sneak
Yeah,
down
ran in and out.
Little
and
guest
run
star.
through it. So it's funny. He doesn't understand that it's on a delay though. So he kept on running, and then he would see himself when he got back to me upstairs, and he was like, "Wait, what?" So he thought that was pretty funny. But anyway.
Champ and Scott, it's good to see you. What's good, my friends?
Yeah, nice. So Champ, I think, is still streaming over last time I saw him, he was doing some golf, and so he's over there doing that. He's going to rate in a little bit before his segment later, but he's modding and playing golf and streaming all at the same time. So props to Champ, for being an MVP.
What kind of golf?
He's playing. Let's see. I think it was, which game was it? But this will tell us. Oh, wait, who is true? This will tell me what the most recent game is. Oh, I thought it told me. I forgot that my command doesn't actually tell you what they recently. But he's playing EA Sports PGA Tour.
Oh, good game. Good game.
Yeah. So he's been lately doing stuff on his TikTok about it. And he had some pretty good. He got an albatross, is it? I don't know. I don't play the game very much, but I heard that was a really good.
Oh yeah, better than a birdie, right?
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Minus.
Well,
yeah.
better than what is that like a hole
Er,
in one on a par 4?
It's better than
Yeah,
So
it's
it's
better
like,
than an eagle.
minus
Yeah.
3, right? So it
Yeah.
has to be at least a par 4.
Yeah. So
Wow.
it was amazing. I was watching it on his TikTok. It looked pretty cool. So let me do a couple things real quickly in the back end to start with the recording in just a moment. People on Facebook are probably like, what the hell's going on? But so we're gonna record on this computer as a backup.
Recording in progress.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Facebook gets to see one more cake, sir.
Exactly.
You see that, Oreo?
Exactly.
Maybe I'll get another ad.
That's hilarious. All right, episode 343 years.
Arby's sounds pretty good right now.
It does.
Although
I had Culver's again for supper tonight.
Oh,
Davey.
nice. I've never
I
turned
wanted
that
to go.
down.
So I live in a really rural area, and there's one small town that's about 10-minute drive from my house. And I had to go into town for something else, and I wanted to pick up Mexican we have a pretty good Mexican place there, but I always forget they're closed on Mondays, so I had to go with my backup plan.
Oh, that's crazy. Yeah, I know there's some restaurants in my area that also close on specific days. My deli, the deli I love so much, is also closed on Mondays, so just one of those things you have to work around.
Yeah. So I don't know why it's not doing the cool hat on my account for my subathon, even though I made it for this week and it says in the back end that it is. So I don't, who knows?
Oh yeah, I don't have a usually.
Yeah, it usually shows up. I was like, I don't know.
And
Then
you
they
get
such
a
a
little
big,
message in chat that I'm not seeing that either.
yeah, they make such a big deal about it too. And it happened on the 5th. So I figured the day after they said if it's within 3 days. So
Right.
But anyway, because it's technically yesterday, but anyway. I don't really care that much. People don't need hats in chat. Tim, can you put your camera up just a little bit on your screen?
Is that better?
Yeah, it's better. Cool.
All right, cool.
It's just on my angle. It was just cutting your face off.
No worries.
And all right. 20 seconds of quiet for a second. We're gonna start the audio podcast, and then I'll bring us in on all of them, and then we'll start the show. All right, welcome to episode 340 of Sports on the Hill podcast. We are celebrating 3 years Twitch affiliate tonight. We're going to have a ton of guests from all over Twitch who've been either a part of the show or new to the show or now on the show in a different capacity. I'm excited about having all the special guests on tonight. It's going to be a really interesting show. We usually do hockey first and basketball second on this show, but the Caps are out. We talked about the sweep last week. I know that Firestone Rocks Drums is in chat, and he's a big Knicks fan. I know that he's got a tough game tonight. So it's funny, he has a Knicks game this week, and then I think that he's actually got a Rangers game next week. So I was going to have him back on the show to talk about one of the two teams, but we may have to wait 2 more weeks until there's a Monday without either one of them, because they do have to share the Garden, and so they have a very overlapping schedules. Right now. There are two live games going on that we're watching right now. The Knicks are up by one, at least on my view, of about 3:20s left in the third. And then it's 0-0 between Boston and Florida in the second period with 13:48 left. I see that Carly is in chat, so I know that she's rooting for the Bruins there. We've got Firestone Rocks Drums in chat, who I know is rooting for the Knicks. So we've got some of the fans of some of the teams in chat, which I really appreciate everyone. Again, we were celebrating 3 years on Twitch that we said at the top of the show, which I'm very excited about. It's Twitch affiliate, 3 years. I started on Twitch 5 years ago, but it didn't take off. So we came back to it 2 years ago, and Josh Turk had an amazing stream with me on Cinco de Mayo 3 years ago, and that was my first affiliate stream, the interview of him, which was awesome. And since then, we've done so many cool things from scuba diving, video editing, to emote making, to our sports show, as always. And it's been a lot of fun. We've done so many different emotes and logo designs for people in chat. We've actually had Eddie Brown on before when I made some of his emotes live on air. But tonight he'll be talking hockey. We're going to have him and Ryan, that E flat guy, on in the second hour. Eddie's actually doing a music stream right now, and he's going to raid into the show in a little bit, which will be fun. And then Ryan's talked Canes with us before, but him and his uncle are both diehard fans, so we'll definitely get into that. We have a new guest of the show, C-Dub Guitar. And C-Dub is a big sports watcher like the rest of us and has been on Davey's Eating a Sandwich show many times. And so also been in chat before here and over there when we talk sports. So I'm excited to bring C-Dub onto the show. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. I'm really happy and excited to be here. Congratulations on the 3-year Twitch anniversary.
Thank you.
So that's always a great accomplishment. And,
Yeah, for sure. What was your first day on Twitch? How long have you been on it now?
So I have been on Twitch for about 3.5 years. I started, so like a lot of people, I think I started streaming during the pandemic because I used to play out a few times a year. I was never like super hardcore about it, but I enjoyed it. And so when the pandemic hit, I originally started streaming on Facebook to just have my friends and family watch. And one of my good friends is a dueling piano player. He has his own business, and so he was streaming pretty seriously when the pandemic hit, and he was multi-streaming to Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. And I'm like, oh, hey, that looks fun. I should try that. And Twitch was the one place where I actually got some natural traction where people would like find me and start chatting. So eventually I just stuck with it.
Yeah, no, that's really cool. It's interesting. I did the same thing. I multi-streamed before I became affiliate just to see which way to go. I'd always done, people who are fans of the show know that we started this show on web radio, and then I did a Facebook live stream of it pretty early on, just a few months after I started it, about 8 years ago. And so this is the 9th season now that we're in, covering the NBA and NHL playoffs. And in doing so, I loved Facebook, and then I decided to try OBS and then send it to both. You know, honestly, on Facebook, they like a pretty simple feed. On Twitch and YouTube, things are a little bit more complicated. I didn't love the live crowd over at YouTube, and honestly, Twitch didn't really have a whole lot of traction because this was before the pandemic, so there wasn't as many people, and it was on for like playing video games and things like that. So, but I modded for a bunch of different people on Twitch, and they encouraged me to say, "Hey, you've now got a following and friends, and we come and support you." And having that initial support is so huge. There's 50 followers and getting the average of 3 people to watch. Some people it takes years to get that. Some people can do it in a week, right? So it just depends on what you're bringing to the table. If you can have some friends to like watch with you just for a couple weeks, even just to get those numbers. But it's why I've always, ever since that moment when Josh helped me out, got over that threshold, try to help as many people as I could. I've probably helped over 100 people now, with either how to put a bot in a channel, how to start the basics, moderating, and all that sort of stuff. So I find Twitch to be fascinating from both the moderator side and helping to manage it, but also obviously the live streaming side too. But without doing the moderator side, I don't think I would have ever had the friends and the people here to actually have this thing take off. So I really appreciate all the support that the places that I have modded at have given me back here. And so it's just been really cool to see that symbiotic relationship. And I know that Davey has a similar story. You did sports earlier on YouTube, right? And then, and started the Sandwich Show right around 3 years ago.
Oh, I did. Hi, everybody. Well, good to see you all again.
Yeah.
But yes,
I forget that
did,
you weren't on the audio podcast, but yet you were on the Twitch thing. So it's confusing. But yes, it's true. Welcome to the show, Davey. Yes.
Yeah, no, hello everybody. It's good to see you all again. And interestingly, we are still on YouTube. Like it's that. In fact, I just did an episode like yesterday with one of my longtime buddies, like Chris and Georgia, and we had a good time talking basketball there too. So.
Nice.
It's not as frequent as it used to be because because of all the hype over here on Twitch. But when we can, we try to continue to put out an episode every now and again. So, finding Twitch has been amazing. It's introduced me to so many people. And as you said, Robbie, like I think the community aspects of Twitch really beat everything else. Like it's like met a lot of tangible new friends, like yourself, friends like Tim and C Dub, and the people we're gonna have coming up later. Like everybody from Gil, Anna, and Champ, and then
I'm lucky to get to surround myself with such cool people that I've gotten to meet both from the Facebook community, but then also integrate them into this Twitch community, which I think is like a really like unique experience. So it's
Scott
pretty
and Carly
cool.
too, like just awesome people all around. Like and King Danbreaker, who's one of my mods. Like it's really great to see you all tonight.
Yeah, no, it's great. I really appreciate the support, and it's been great because I know that I miss Carly's streams so much. But I'm so happy that she gets to pop in and chat and say hi to people, and I'm excited that she just moved. And so congratulations to her, and hopefully maybe we'll get her back on Twitch at least to do a pop-up stream at one point. I'm still holding out hope. So but maybe if not, maybe we'll do a game stream on Andy's stream or something like that. But yeah, sure. Why not? I mean, I have the podium, right, Andy? So yeah.
Andy, and don't forget Primordial Sounds. Like it's just an awesome friend of ours. Like good to see you too, Primo.
Right. Yeah, Andy's awesome. So yeah, go check out Andy on Wednesdays and Saturdays for sure. You can see Carly over there on Saturdays. Me most of the time on Wednesdays, sometimes on Saturdays. Just I have such a crazy schedule with the kids. But yeah, it's been a fun week of sports. I know that people I think are tuned in to watch that. Although I know like people on Twitch probably care less about sports. People on Facebook care more. So I don't mind if it being not all sports, but it is a sports podcast, so I probably should talk about a little bit about it. But it's still 0-0 in this live hockey game, and this basketball game has been pretty exciting. Obviously I'm rooting for the Knicks in this one, but it's been you know it's been a pretty exciting game. Is it over now? What's the final? Oh no, the Pacers lead 87-82. Okay.
Yeah, in the third quarter.
Yeah, third quarter just ended.
Yeah, okay. I was like, what are they doing interviewing? I just forgot that they do that between the quarters. But yeah, so right now it is 87-82. The Pacers leading the Knicks. And yeah, it's pretty exciting. I think my kids are trying to sneak downstairs. I may have to deal with that. But what I mean, you guys have gotten a chance to watch more of this game than I have. But Davey, what are some of your thoughts early on in this matchup?
Wait, are you talking about the game in progress?
Yeah, the Knicks game. Yeah.
I think what we're seeing right now is just the difference in the depth of both rosters right now. We talked about it in the pre-show. Like it just looks like the Knicks, as really as great as they have been playing, as good as a team as they are. I feel like they all kind of feed off of one or two guys, and specifically Brunson, who's been just awesome. And Josh Hart's had some pretty good games too in the first round, but I think they need a little more because when you look at the Pacers, the bench was really really the star of the show in the first half. I mean, the starters really weren't doing that great. And now you look at everybody starting to pick it up together, and geez, like man, they're just. I mean, I know they're only up 7 points, but it's already the fourth quarter, and I'm kind of wondering if that's going to continue to be a theme throughout the series. Like the depth of the Pacers is clearly overtaking the Knicks at the moment, and we'll see if the Knicks can make a comeback here.
Ooh, that's a nice three right there, though. That'll
That
help.
was.
It'll be interesting. The Pacers have been good, all season though. I mean, I was always curious if this tournament, this thing would mean anything in the sense of like the teams that make it to the end, or what is the team that's doing so well mid-season? How would they relate to their end of season run? But you could see, the Pacers team surprised people. I think both in that tournament, and I think that they surprised people in the first round in this tournament.
Yeah, well, I can say they surprised me.
Didn't
Yeah.
help the Lakers though that much, I would say, with that
Yeah,
tournament.
Yeah, didn't. Yeah, and
True.
I can't believe they actually put a banner up for that. Like, I don't feel like they should, but
No, that's
apparently they're
ridiculous.
going to.
But so I have a question real quickly, Davey, because I think we'll talk about the Lakers for just a second with that segue. Do you think they should have fired their coach? Do you put the blame on him? I don't know.
Yes. He's awful. I had that called for weeks. I thought he was.
Yeah.
They fired the entire staff. So when I saw the notification from ESPN that they fired the entire coaching staff, I just laughed. I'm like, there was no question he was gonna get fired, and I would have been surprised if he even made it to like the next week, or maybe to a week from when that game was played. And surely enough, they dumped him so fast. Like
He's
and
such a
it's
scapegoat. I just think for me, and we've talked about it in the past that I'm a LeBron James hater. So like it's documented on the show extensively. But I I find he just like throws coaches under the bus so quickly. Like, I mean, there's so many of them, like through history, and he takes all their picks, and then he just like leaves the team. Like, it's just, but no one
Robbie.
talks about that.
I'm gonna tell you something. Everything you said is completely correct, and I'm actually with you on a lot of that. I'm not a big LeBron guy, to be honest with you, because of exactly what you said. He leaves every team worse than they start. But
Yeah.
with that said, this dude kept blowing fourth quarter leads throughout
But
the season.
is it his fault though, or is it the players not executing? I mean, that's what it always comes down to. Are we going to blame the coach? Or are we going to
It
blame?
looked. That's a fair question, but the team always looked pretty disorganized whenever teams start to rally on them. They really did not have any answers sometimes, and they wouldn't make adjustments when it mattered the most.
To be fair,
Maybe
before he was the coach, they were having some of the same problems. I mean, we
Right.
did win the championship. It's interesting, like he wins championships like on the COVID year and like these other, what I mean? Like, I don't know, like,
Yeah.
I don't know. There's a lot of question marks. Like for how good he is, he should have won more championships and left less teams in disarray. I'm sorry. I just like
I think the reason, but I will say the reason why I think LeBron leaves teams in disarray is because he has way too much control over transactions, meaning like he has too much of the front office control. It's like I don't
but
think
also control over coaches is what I'm trying to get down to. Is
well,
like,
I mean, I do. I mean, he's not alone in that. I mean, Giannis also pretty much forced the Bucks to hire Adrian Griffin, and C-Dub could speak to that. And then he also forced them to get rid of him like in the middle of the season. So
well, actually, so that's an interesting thing there, Davey, because what I read is the reason they fired him mid-season was actually because he was too buddy with Giannis.
Oh,
And
interesting.
yeah, the front
Interesting.
office felt that he was trying to be a player's coach too much and um not coaching the whole team,
Mhm.
which was leading to things sort of like what you're talking about with the Lakers, where they would look disorganized late in games. And it didn't matter at the beginning of the season so much because they were winning so much. They came out hot. The Bucks really started hot this season. And towards mid-season, they were starting to get a little iffy about it, and that's why they made the change. But I got to say, I was not a fan of the Doc Rivers hiring when it happened, and I'm still not a fan.
He's proven constantly that he's not good at this. He should
I
stick.
know.
He should stick
Yeah,
to
he
it.
got one
I don't
lucky, not
understand.
lucky championship, but the players earned it. So
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I think they won it in spite of him. I don't think that it was because of him. Like I don't know. Like
Yeah.
he has
It's
Well,
not
and
it's
so
proven.
that's what and so that's what really frustrates me, because you hear the stories come out that, oh well, Adrian was too much of a player's coach, and they needed some more discipline on the team and whatnot. And I'm like, okay, so you bring in Doc Rivers, who is like a known playoff choker. That's going to help. Come on.
That's a great point. That's a great point, C-Dub. And
So
they
I
didn't
do.
have because oh, go
Sorry,
ahead. I'm sorry.
real quickly, I wanted to give a scoring update. Matthew Kachuk had a beautiful goal right there, and I'm sorry, Carly, but Florida is now up 1-0.
Oh no.
Yeah,
I'm not going to be on for the hockey segment, but I really think the Boston odds here aren't great here. I think Florida's just too good. I feel like
Me
it could
too.
be. It
A
could even
lot
be
of
short
people
series.
picked. A lot of people on my podcast picked Florida to be the championship, the champion this
Yeah.
year. Both female commentators thought that, and they're both very wise. So, like, yeah, and they did it pre-season, both of them. So,
Oh
like,
wow.
Yeah.
yeah, Florida's been really good.
They have been very good.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, I know the hockey segment's later, but they have probably been the cream of the crop. So that's not Davey. I don't think you're going out on too much of a limb there to say Boston's going to have their
Oh
hands
no.
full.
And interestingly, I think a lot of like we have a lot of friends that are Boston Bruin fans, and
Mhm.
they all said the same thing.
Oh yeah. Jamie, well,
Oh,
so
right away though, an answer by
oh
Boston,
nice.
and they tie the game 1-1.
right on cue. Talked to how
Right?
great Florida was. Give it a
Yeah,
little.
they give it up.
Oh, my mush is making a
I love.
comeback here. I think I didn't know it carried over to Robbie's show.
I do like that we have an announcers jinx going, so that's kind of funny. I'm a
Oh
diehard
man.
Boston fan, but I like a good game, so I'm okay with
All
it being
right.
exciting. Right now the Knicks though are down 87-94 in the game that we were quote unquote supposed to be watching. It was 9:35.
But I'm watching it.
Yeah, I'm watching
I'll
it.
switch on.
I am
I'll watch
watching
the
it
hockey
too.
a little bit later.
The hockey was very exciting. The 2 goals there in less than 2 minutes.
Oh, that
So,
was bad.
Yeah.
That was an ugly shot.
yeah.
Ooh,
Oh.
didn't even hit the rim.
No. But
Yikes.
I mean, even with that though, the Knicks haven't been able to cut it. I mean, it was 7 at the break, and a few
Yeah.
minutes in here to the fourth, they haven't been able to put a dent in it. So
I do think
I
the
think
Pacers
this is
are better than the 76ers, which is interesting because, a lot of the season you wouldn't have thought that, but I think they've kind of rounded into form to the point where they've kind of impressed me. And I was surprised though that the Milwaukee, without some of their star players, was able to still like make it an exciting series. But ultimately, I think to Davey's point earlier that the depth of the Pacers, just kind of, becomes a difference maker in a lot of these situations. And I
yeah.
think the Knicks have been
Yeah,
running the same 5 players, for a lot of these, the first round, and a couple extra people swinging in and out, but like it hasn't been that same level of depth for sure.
Yeah.
the
Can
Well,
we
and I
have one
Knicks.
think
more?
go
Oh,
ahead.
go ahead,
Sorry,
Tim.
Tim.
Go ahead,
Yeah, I
Tim.
was just gonna say, kind of like we talked about earlier, the Knicks always get outscored on the bench side. I mean, late first half, I think they only had 2 or 4 points from the bench. So McConnell alone has like 20 or something. So they're not going to
Yeah.
be able to match that.
I think the Pacers had 26 or 28 points on there from their bench at halftime. So
Wow.
that's going to be tough. Well, and that's what I was going to say. Yes, Milwaukee was able to make a series of it, but Indiana was they were clearly the better team. Like maybe if we had Giannis and Dame both at, whatever 100% is when you get to the playoffs, they would have been able to dominate them as individuals. But yeah, Chris Middleton had his sort of moment there, and I can't remember, it was game 4 or 5. And some of the other players made some things happen, but the Pacers were just consistently a better team. They've got a deep bench, they play well together, and they just showed it over the course of the games that they were a better team.
Yeah.
I think one thing I would say is like I would add this bench was a theme in that series too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. For real.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, and the Bucks had a similar problem to the Knicks for a different reason. Obviously, you have 2 of your starters out, you're going to be short. But yeah, it was definitely a theme in the first round as well. I think it'll be, if you forecast out, if they were able to win this series and keep going, I think it'll be a story as long as they're in the playoffs. Because I don't know that there's another team in the playoffs that has this quality bench.
For sure. Let's talk about some of those other series real quick. The Boston Cleveland one, the Boston Celtics were obviously able to finally deal with Miami there, sort of like big in the last game, but they had a little bit of trouble in game 2, which was kind of surprising at home, but then they won the 2 games in Miami and then came home and took care of business. On the other hand, the Cavaliers, that was kind of a crazy series. They won the 2 at home, lost 2 on the road, then won at home, and then they lost at Orlando, and then they beat Orlando at home 106-94. So that a lot of people thought Orlando was going to advance in that series, but they were able to hold on and win that. So C-Dub, I'll start with you. What are your thoughts on this series?
Well, I was of that opinion. I thought the Magic were going to win. And you're right. It was a weird series. Like, the old cliche about an NBA playoff series starts when the road team wins one. It really came to fruition right away in that series. But I just thought the Magic were going to be able to kind of outlast the Cavaliers, but it didn't. The opposite kind of happened. It didn't turn out that way.
Yeah, sorry, we're looking at the ghosts are supposed to appear on screen with people are doing commands and they weren't working. So I'm trying to figure out why that is. But anyway, so you were wondering if I had a perplexed look on my face. I was like, huh, that's weird. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how that series goes on. I mean, I think I don't really know. I think that it's kind of a good matchup. It's not as obvious for me. I mean, Boston on paper is the better team, but Cleveland showed some resiliency. Davey, what are some of your thoughts?
We're talking about the Boston Cleveland. Yeah. Cleveland's defense is really, really good. I think they're gonna. The takeaway I had from this matchup is, I think the Cavs are going to be in every single game, and they might even really push the Celtics to the limit. But at the same time, I think the Celtics are going to probably win the series pretty quickly. I think they'll probably win in 6, but they could even win it in 5, because stars win these series, right? So the stars for the Celtics, you got Jason Tatum, who's just outstanding and like setting some certain records in certain games. He's got an amazing ceiling, and he's got such great length. Like, he can do a lot of different things. Like, and then you've got Jaylen Brown. You have Derek White, who had just an outstanding first series. He really broke out in that series, and so I do think that the Celtics are the team to beat here. But the Cavs are very interesting. Like, they're agile, they're pesky, they can play. Got a pretty good backcourt. You have Donovan Mitchell. And you had a really good game from Karis LeVert in Game 7 of their previous series with Orlando. So it's definitely they definitely have good guard play, and so they might give Boston a challenge here, but not to the point where I feel like they're going to threaten to win the series. I feel like Boston will control the entire series the whole way, but every game will be close. So that's my feel of it as of the moment.
Yeah,
Raiders.
Tim, what are some of your thoughts on that? And then I'll
I agree. I think Boston will win in 5 or 6 because they are the better team, and Cleveland doesn't have a lot of success with Mitchell. He really choked last playoffs, and I think that's why a lot of people thought Orlando would take it. Just they have a lot of great players, and Cleveland isn't really known to be clutch. The one thing that Boston always does is they always have one perplexing, terrible home loss in every series, whether they win the series or not. And they had it in the first round, and I think they'll probably do that again. But I could see them winning all the games in Cleveland because they're a great road team. But yeah, I agree with Davey. Probably Boston in 5 or 6. Just too many weapons on offense.
Yeah, I agree. So I want to welcome in Eddie Brown Music, who's going to be a guest on our hockey segment in a little bit. And so welcome in people from that chat, including Bob Laho, who just celebrated 3 years, and Brown Eyed Girl. Welcome on in as well. So thank you guys all for rating in and being a part of Eddie's first, I think it's his first sports stream. I don't know if he's been on a sports podcast before, but we have done some art together on this channel, and I look forward to talking hockey with him. Boston did just score again, by the way. It's first career playoff goal.
We jinxed Florida pretty bad, didn't we?
We did, didn't we?
Which I'm sure Carly's happy about. So they're up to
Can be careful with this kind of power.
3:25 in the second. Right now it's only a 3-point game though. The Knicks are coming back in it with
and they stole the ball too. Look at that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're finally making their comeback here.
Yeah, so it'll be a fun last 15 minutes. Be interesting to see which takes longer, 7 minutes in clock time or 18 minutes of our podcast, and which will, my betting is that the basketball game will go longer, but it's especially in the playoffs. But yeah, it's been an exciting back and forth game in both of them, so it'll be fun to continue to monitor those down the stretch. Let's talk about some of the West Coast matchups real quick. And we'll start off with the OKC versus Dallas. The Thunder pretty much took care of business to be expected with the sweep of the Pelicans. The Mavericks, they were able to beat the Clippers. They did lose 2 in that series. They lost the very first game actually at the Clippers, but then they were able to win in LA. Then they won at home, but then they lost the second one, so they didn't go up. But then they won the next 2, including one on the road, and then one at home to close it out, 114 to 101. Cita, what are some of your thoughts on the Mavericks versus Thunder?
Yeah, I think. I think in this one the Thunder are probably going to control this series. I think they just have too much firepower. Doncic, they're just too good, and they're just going to be able to handle whatever the Mavs put at them, I think.
Yeah.
I would say probably. I still think it'll probably be 5. Maybe 6 games, but I don't know that aside from the sort of, random loss that almost always occurs in a series that they'll ever really be in jeopardy in this one.
Yeah. Kyrie's been playing pretty well. Surprisingly, it's just he's such an up and down character through his, time in the NBA. It's just so interesting, if he cares and wants to play, he can play really well, but it's just so interesting to watch his career arc. But David, what are some of your thoughts on that series? Oh, I think you're muted.
Oh yeah, Davey, you're muted.
I feel like, sorry. I feel exactly the same. SGA is a player. I feel like he could be a top 5 player in the league right now. Like, he's really good, and I just think the Mavericks have their 2 guys, and they've played very well, but their defense is still pretty bad. And just like CW was getting into, I just think that the Thunder just have too many good players right now, and I just think it's going to be a short series as well. I feel like it's going to be Thunder in 5 or 6. They are very potent. It should be a really, really fascinating watch to see if Dallas can, in fact.
Oh my God!
It's tied.
Did you see that? All right, sorry, David, to cut you off, but
oh, no problem. Yeah, that was pretty nuts.
Throw and then an layup for tie the game at 104 with 5:40.
We got to finish here. We got to finish over here.
This is good. This is what I was hoping for when I scheduled this
Yeah.
podcast, so we would have
I
a,
do
a
want to
finisher.
just add in a couple of things here.
Yeah.
I will admit I don't know a ton about the OKC about what OKC is going to do with this series because that series with the Pelicans was ridiculously short. Like the Pels did not
Yeah.
belong in the playoffs at all. That was a joke. Like they should never have been in there. It was embarrassing. So I don't really know what we're going to get from the Thunder, but I also think that the Mavs. I don't know. I never really thought they were that great throughout the season, mostly because of the defensive liabilities. And one other thing, I think Doncic is pretty beat up. Like, have you noticed like how he's hobbling around? Like, I think that's going to be tough for them to hold up against a team that's so young and so agile. Like, I think it's a really tough assignment for the Mavs, and I don't think they're going to really come out ahead here.
Yeah. Tim, what are some of your thoughts on the OKC Dallas series?
I just think in the West, at least this year, we're seeing a little bit of a changing of the guard and teams you don't really see on national television a lot and you don't know a ton about around the country, like OKC and Minnesota and even Denver really until recently. You know, they're not always seen, especially on the East Coast. And we're seeing them play finally in the playoffs a lot. And they're really young, they're really athletic. Great young teams that I think you know are likely to win championships in the future, and it's kind of cool because I think a lot of these guys are gonna make their name known nationally. Like Edwards in Minnesota is already getting huge because of this playoffs. So it may not be the biggest media highlight for the league to have those smaller markets in the Western Finals and go far, but I think it's great for the fans because you know we need like the next new class of players to come in and kind of take the league forward because like we were talking about, LeBron's about 40 already, you know, so he's still always talked about, but he's not. I don't think he's able to influence a team as much as like these young guys like SGA or Edwards at this point.
Yeah. So did they foul him on the 3-point and then they made the first two and missed the third, I think, and then because they're up 2, and then the Knicks shot
and then
it.
they waved off the 3.
There was a mistake too by the scorekeeper because they added a point to the Knicks and then took it off.
Oh, okay.
Because in that sequence where it was like free throws and then the Knicks got their own rebound and put it back in, that they added an extra point. They were actually down 1 after that, not tied.
And we're back to how do NBA players keep missing free throws.
Yeah.
I just saw that.
Oh, and with that,
wow.
They make a bucket. 4:46 now. They're up by 3. Free throw is going to come back and hurt them, I think, but we'll see.
It kind of goes both ways. Siakam missed 2, like earlier in the game, so it's like both teams missing free throws. Like
the other thing, I mean, aside from that one where he just Hart got fouled, the Pacers. I mean, I don't have the stats in front of me, but the Pacers have been a much better rebounding team.
Yeah,
they've been getting second chance points, and when the Knicks miss, they're not getting a second shot off. So that is another big factor here in the last 4 minutes, I think.
Yeah, and that's a great point too, because that was the 76ers weakness. Like how many plays were chaotic where the Knicks would miss 2 or 3 shots, but they would just bat it out. Every single time they would hit a shot, usually a 3, and it was just backbreaker after backbreaker. And it was just like, you know what I mean? Like Philly just could not get the rebounds.
Yep.
On
and they're not. Yeah, and the
glass.
Knicks aren't able to do that tonight, or haven't been able to so far, anyway.
Yeah.
That series was so good. I know I talked about it last week, but oh my God, like every game was just phenomenal. Like I was making me want it to go 7 just because it was, so exciting back and forth. Yeah, I don't know. Like, oof. God, the Knicks have got to find a way here. They're not down 5 with 4:10 left. But the defense.
Ooh, that'll help. Just hit a 3.
Oh wow, what a shot! I mean, Brunson. That's Brunson in a nutshell. He just keeps making these big shots,
right? I mean, Tim, you were talking about the young players coming in and sort of becoming the new face of the league. Like that play right there, man. You roll that up on SportsCenter.
Yeah,
34 points for. Oh, go ahead. Sorry, Tim.
I was just gonna say real quick. I think it was crazy that Brunson didn't make the U.S. Olympic team with how good he was, but we're deep at point guard, I guess. So
Yeah. Adrian's in chat and he was wanting to wish Tim a happy birthday in 9 days. So happy in 9 days.
nice, a little early, but I'll take it.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, you're still young then if you're going to take it early.
He hasn't hit 40 yet. So it's
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll have to squeeze.
Oh,
Getting
Yeah.
close though. I gotta I gotta
okay.
enjoy every day and not sell it short at all.
Exactly.
I think it's like George Costanza would say about people going bald. It's like, yeah, live, damn it,
Live. Yes.
Brunson's going to the free throw line though, and I think is it with one to go?
He made one,
It won, and then it's a timeout
then
between
a
them.
timeout. Yep.
Yeah, so right now the Pacers are up by one with that timeout there, but just a little over 3 minutes left in the game. But yeah, it's an exciting one, and for sure it's going to last longer than this segment, which it's a bummer as I'd like to resolve, but for all we know, it's going to go to overtime. So we'll continue to.
Probably 30 more minutes.
Yeah,
if
it's
it's
probably-
overtime. Yeah.
Right.
If it goes overtime, will we go overtime too?
Exactly. I mean, I'll just keep everybody on, and we'll talk hockey, and then you guys can just.
We'll just shout at every
We'll
basket.
just have
Just interrupt.
like 8 people on the screen at once.
There you
David
go.
can just do it, right? So
It's done. It's been, yeah, it can be done. But hi, Ryan. Good to see you. Welcome in.
Yes, and thank
Hey,
you,
Ryan.
Ryan Daddy Flat Guy, for the resub. I appreciate you. I think it said it was 20 months. So yeah, I enjoy modding over with Ryan and Daddy Flat Guy on Twitch, and then also at Eddie's channel as well, and Andy's mod as well, and Carly if she streams again. Yeah, it's been fun to have somebody here. I really appreciate everyone for tuning in and being a part of it. I also want to give a shout out to my friend Adrian, who's Ace Kaltorth. He's trying to get to affiliate. He's a new streamer. So he's streaming a bunch of different things like Fortnite and Battlefield. And yeah, so I'm just giving him a shout out. People want
I will
to.
drop him a follow.
Yeah, I appreciate that. He's a real life friend for 25 years. We went to high school together. So we actually got to celebrate one of our friends' 40th birthdays last night, and Tim was actually over last night. So
Great time.
yeah, it was a lot of fun. So happy belated birthday to Benson. And so yeah, Jalen Brunson did make that free throw. It is tied 109, 3:23 left in that one. And then I guess it's just enough time to talk about the Timberwolves and the Nuggets before the end of the game potentially. I am shocked that the Timberwolves took the first game from the Nuggets because I thought the Nuggets were one of the teams to beat. But the Timberwolves, I mean, this is going to be a tough series. I'm going to start with Davey. What are your thoughts on Minnesota versus Nuggets?
I think we had one game we already played in the series, and I think it was after one game it was pretty clear that the Nuggets have a real challenge on their hands. It might be reason for them to get worried because the size advantage for the Wolves right now is incredible. And speaking of incredible, look at this Knick comeback right now.
Yeah, the 9-0 run in the last.
This
minute.
is crazy.
Yeah, they just went crazy.
This is
Wow.
what happened in the end of the Philly games too. They would just go on these crazy runs, and then Philly then would like go on crazy runs back. It was just
Yeah.
It's wild.
It's wild. But I think the Nuggets need this game tonight. Like, my friend who lives in Denver, my buddy Coach, we call him Coach, and he said it's a must win. First of all, he's not from Denver. He kind of started bandwagoning the Nuggets when he moved to Denver because he wanted a local team to follow. So I'll give it to him. But it's funny that he kind of got into him suddenly once he moved over there. But he's like, this is a must win, and he's right. It's a must win because I mean, they didn't just lose that game; they were pushed around, and I think the size advantage is pretty clear for most of the positions in this matchup. And when you have Anthony Edwards playing on the level he's playing right now at the age of 22, I mean, that is tough. Denver had been notorious for starting slow in all their games throughout the season, including the series against the Lakers, which I know very well. And that's just not going to happen. You're not going to get away with that against with the Timberwolves. That's a young team. It's hungry. I just can't see. Uh-oh.
Ugly turnover.
Oh,
Sorry, Davey.
wow. No, no worries. No worries. I was watching it too. I'm like that's a
do that. That is ridiculous.
Wow. But anyway, I know we're running out of a lot of time here, but I think this is the Wolves series to lose at this point, especially if they win game 2 tonight. But it is early in the series, so I don't want to get too crazy, making projections. But it just looked like they had better matchups on the Nuggets, and I just don't think that's the kind of thing that's going to change in one game, and that's going to change over the course of a game. And that coach for the no, check them. Sorry, that was a different coach. But but yeah, it's I don't know. I mean, the Timberwolves play really good defense, and I think there's really good reason for concern right now if you're a Nugget fan. So we'll see.
Are they challenging this whether or not it was a foul? Is that what's happening?
Yeah, they are, and I think they're gonna win it. I don't think
I don't think it's a foul either. And this is
it's not a foul.
The play of the game, because if it is a foul and they go,
both teams could score 4 more times though. With the Knicks, they're crazy.
I don't think 2 free throws at this point in the game can mean everything.
It's huge.
If they make them, of course. But
yes,
right.
Yeah.
I will say that we have to stay to the end of this game. It's too good. I will bring in Eddie and Ryan at the top of the hour, but we'll I know I started our segment a little bit late, so we can start maybe 5 minutes late with the hockey. This is just too crazy of a game not to at least get to the end of.
I do want to just add, as far as tonight's game, which comes after this one, I do think the Nuggets are going to win. And actually, I think they're going to win by a pretty good amount of points. So they'll have their win, but it's going to get interesting. I feel like, as we were saying earlier in the podcast, this series isn't going to really start until a road team wins until Denver. Wait, what? Well, no, team already won on the road.
Minnesota won on the road.
Minnesota already won the road game. Yeah. So it's I think the Nuggets will take this game tonight, but that doesn't. I think they're going to be playing on their heels for a while here, fellas. I think the Wolves really seem to be not afraid of them. 1 and 2, they just have these length matchups all over the place. It's just going to be a very tough road. It's going to be a big challenge for Denver here.
Ooh, so what was the result?
Yeah, it was overturned. I might be a second ahead.
Oh
yeah. Pacers got the ball back.
Yeah, they got the ball out of bounds.
151 left. It's this is a wild ending. All right, so it's 113, and 144 left in this game. So, oof, Indiana has the ball. We'll see how it.
Oh, what a shot! Nice.
Wow.
I think we're all probably like 2 seconds off each other.
Yeah, right.
Go ahead and move. I think it was just a tiny bit ahead of us.
Very important seconds.
It's too vital.
Basketball. Yeah.
Was that Toppin? It was.
Yeah.
No, maybe it was not Tom. I think it was someone else. But
yeah, Davey, I think you're dead on with the other game tonight. I expect the Mavericks to win, but they have to have an answer for the physicality that Minnesota's put out there. I mean, they just out muscled them.
Wait, no, the other game tonight is the Denver game.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought you were saying Dallas.
No. Sorry, Denver. Yeah.
Denver, Minnesota. Game 2. It's right after on TNT.
They need an answer for that sort of physical young hunger that the Timberwolves brought in game 1. And I'm like you, Davey. I expect them to do it and win tonight, but it's going to be a long series. I really expect this one to go 7.
Yeah, I could kind of see it being one of those like every other game situations where they go back, they win the first game in Minnesota, but then they lose the second. And so like that's kind of how I see it. Oh wow, a 3 for the Knicks.
Ooh.
Gives them a 3-point lead with 39 seconds left. God.
That was deep too.
Yeah. Man.
DiVincenzo, look at that. How about that?
He's been lights out for them. God, this team is so likable. Like, it's funny. Like, I just really like how the Knicks constructed this roster, and I think that it's just exciting team, with so many young players and just sort of gelling together. It'll be interesting to see where it goes.
I mean, this is a remarkable series because both teams are very likable. Like I think the Pacers are very likable too. Really fun team to watch, and I
Yeah,
love how they
just
share the ball.
across the league, it's so young. I was looking at the
Yeah.
number of starting five and the average age, like almost everyone's under 30, except for like 5 players or something across the whole league at this point. So like it's crazy how many young players are, taking the spotlight now. And yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I kind of rooting for the Timberwolves, to be totally honest, in that series, and see how we do. There he is. Yeah. We can do a crossover segment. We can bring in Eddie and Ryan as well. I'm fine with that. It's I know that we are watching the last minute of this basketball game, but it's very exciting. Oh, thank you, Tina and Ginger. Welcome on in to both of you. I appreciate it. Yeah, it's been a fun stream. I did want to let people know that if anybody does want to do the subathon, I think the link expired, but I'm going to put this up here and really do it. But yeah, if anybody wants any animated emotes or regular emotes, they can gift and they get a discount on those as well. So doing that for this special stream, it's basically half off emotes if you were to do it monetarily. Yeah, and so this game is really close. Knicks are up by 1, 22 seconds left.
This 2 seconds that I'm ahead of you guys is
Oh my God.
exciting.
Wait,
What was did they call it?
Whose ball is it right there?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Indiana's ball.
Really?
Yeah, but I think they're looking at it.
Oh,
Oh,
boy.
because it's off his foot. I think it's off Indiana's foot.
Oh man. Hold on.
All right,
Yeah.
I'm getting the replay right now.
Yeah,
Did it actually
Yeah,
hit him?
that's Nick's ball.
I think it
That's
did.
Nick's
Yeah,
ball.
that's Nick's ball.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be Nick's ball. So they'll probably foul.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's.
Yeah, I think so. Ooh, it's
Yeah.
close though. No, I
It's
think
really close, but
yeah, it's closer than I initially thought. Let's see. Does this angle
Yeah,
show?
I'm pretty sure it's off the foot. I mean,
boy,
Oh.
that last angle. I'm not
That
sure.
last from the other angle? I don't know.
Why?
Depends on the angle. Maybe it's not incontrovertible
Maybe it
evidence or whatever.
oh, interesting. That is an interesting.
That's going to
angle,
be
yeah.
very interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Eddie and Ryan, if you don't know, we have a very close game in this Knicks matchup against the Pacers. It's a 1-point game, and we're in the final minute of the action. So that's why we're watching just the very last little bit together, and then we're gonna talk a little bit of hockey with you guys. But you can come on in, and we can say hello to you guys. We're in a commercial break right now. But welcome into Ryan and to Eddie. I appreciate you for rating in, Eddie, and Ryan for the resub. We've been friends on Twitch now for 3 years, and so it's been fun to get to talk hockey with you both because I know that you guys are both Hurricanes fans. We've done a lot of different streams. I have talked Hurricanes before with you, Ryan, but Eddie, we've only ever done an art stream together. But I'm excited to bring both of you guys in. But Ryan, how are you doing tonight?
Doing pretty well, Robbie. Didn't really check audio or anything, so hope it's okay.
Good.
And yeah, kind of surprised to see that the Bruins are leading the Panthers right now, but not overly surprised. I mean, Florida kind of had a long time to wait, and sometimes that can be a bad thing, you know? So I still think the Panthers are going to win that series, but and they still have a chance to come back, I guess. You know, it's 3-1 at the end of 2. But yeah, I think the slow start might just be not playing hockey through.
I saw the second goal. I didn't even see the third goal.
Yeah,
I
there
don't
was
know
a
when they
third
scored
goal
the
that
third
came
one.
in.
Yeah. Well,
No offense, Carly.
Oh my gosh.
Did you guys see that?
Oh my God.
Oh.
Oh, it's Indiana's ball, they're saying even.
Wow.
Oh no.
That's
How did that not
crazy.
go off the
I've never.
pacer?
It went off the pacer, then
They
right off
trapped
Brunson again.
Brunson.
Oh, did it? I can't
Yeah, it
believe
was the
Brunson
double-
got trapped like that.
I've never seen anyone do that to themselves.
Oh, that's
It
yeah. That
usually
should
works.
be out of bounds in Indiana, right? Because like,
Yep.
Yeah, it's
oh,
Indiana
what a
ball.
bad
It is.
break.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
What
You're
a
right.
bad break that is. Oh my gosh.
And he tries to throw it off of him, but it's too late.
It bounces right back at him.
Oh.
And then look at his face when he points.
It hit him.
Yeah,
I see what happened. So it bounced off of two guys. So one guy throws it off the other guy, and then it bounces off of him and touches the first guy. Wow. And now it's Indiana ball.
Oh, look at
Oh
that.
my
And
God.
then
gotta
the charge.
be kidding me.
You gotta
Wow.
be
Gotta be-
kidding me.
That's a terrible call.
That is
Like
a horrible call.
Do they call a charge there?
That's just not the way you want a game.
Yeah,
to
they
end.
called
Like,
him. I'm sure they called a moving screen.
Let's
They
see.
called it on Turner.
Oh, that's a bad call.
He's moving.
I
He's
mean, I
moving.
guess he's moving.
Yeah, he's
I give it-
moving. He's still
a
even
little
moving
bit.
into it. It's a big flop, no doubt. He sold it well. But at the same time, it is.
Their replay though.
I don't think it's gonna be a long replay. I feel like that call.
I don't know why they're gonna replay that one. Yeah.
And to answer Ginger's question in chat, and yeah, this is part of the deal. If people want to donate for an emote but don't have their own channel, I will host it on my channel for a few months as well. And so people, if they're subbed to my channel, can have that emote as well. So
Yeah, he doesn't get that last foot down.
That is a
until he's already
that
made
is a mega
contact.
flop by DiVincenzo.
But that's a
though,
huge
like-
flop by DiVincenzo, yeah.
a
I think
mega
I'd have
flop.
scored it like a 10.
Yeah.
They should call no foul in that situation and just play
They're
on
allowed to call
because of the
flopping
flopping.
too.
Yeah.
I think they're allowed to look at flopping.
I think that
also.
I think you're right.
Yeah. I don't know if, or maybe that's what they're looking at. I mean, I don't have the audio.
It's
of the
gonna
game,
be
so
a
I don't know.
flop walk off shot here. If they get if Indiana gets the ball back.
Right.
Well, even if the play stands the way it was called, the Pacers would just foul. and
Yeah,
they'll
the
have a chance
Pacers
to get
will
a three.
foul, but
Yeah.
so they should get the ball back with a chance to tie it at least. Worst case
Yeah.
scenario.
At worst case scenario, yeah.
And the way the free throws have been going tonight, who knows?
Yep. Yep. So I mean, that's a situation because it's close enough where I think the call on the court will stand if there's any doubt. That's pretty much what happened.
I think that's what they're saying, yeah.
Yeah.
By the body language anyway.
Yeah.
So Robbie, while we have just a second here, I might want to hit you up for some emotes. I need some new ones.
And honestly, if you want to take part of this deal, it's cheaper than doing it with me. So I want to, like, not to toot my own horn for the subathon, but like you would get super emotes if you did it now. Did this deal. That's what I was telling Ginger. I also am gonna host them, and I'll host them for longer. If it's static, I'll host it for a year, and if it's animated, I'll host it for maybe 6 months. I'll just have to
Wait,
What's
call
going
now?
on there? Was there a technical foul? Like,
Yeah,
what
it's a
happened over
tech.
there?
It's a tech for fouling
Oh.
before the pass was inbound.
Oh
so
man, well that's
just a free point. Yeah, that's huge.
That's big.
Yeah, they changed that rule so they
Oh,
couldn't
man.
foul while you're out of bounds, which makes
Yeah.
sense because it's kind of stupid, like, and it's dangerous, to be totally honest. Like, just to be hacking people when there's no ball. All right, so
Boy.
they're up to 10.7 seconds. Free throw is coming. But yeah, we're almost over with it, Ryan. It's it's wild endings. It's,
Listen, it's
Eddie-
basketball. The 12 seconds could take an hour.
It's true. It's true.
That's the one thing I do love about hockey. I mean, it's not like exactly 20 minutes, obviously, but it's much closer to, like, if there's 5 minutes left in the game, it's probably not going to take 45 minutes.
Yeah, it's actually a penalty if you intentionally stop the game.
Yeah.
Right. They only have one timeout too for either team, like in hockey. And that's the best. Like,
Yeah.
we should make everybody have one timeout, like just one.
That's what takes so long in basketball. Is you could have 3 at the end of the game. Oof.
Yeah.
It's oh wow. Well, thank you.
Oh, hey, we got
my sub
your
goal.
sub goal. Nice.
Wow.
Goodness.
Congrats.
Did you get the sub goal in like one shot? Like, was that 20? Oh my
She
goodness.
just did
Ginger.
seven gifted subs, so I'm gonna make her an animated and a static one. So yeah, awesome. I will host both of those. And you've been such a great person. I will definitely host both of those for at least 6 months. So you'll get it definitely through the summer.
Yeah, it's gonna do it.
Yep.
That's it.
That's it. And then, win the game. Congratulations. I don't know if Firestone Rocks Drums. Oh, he is still in chat. Congratulations to Scott. And I'll give him a shout out. Big time win for the Knicks. Yeah, I know we didn't get to talk about every series, every one of us, but it was still a really fun segment, and I'm happy we got to watch the end of that really fun game. And everyone should definitely go check out both Davey, who does a great sandwich show, an interview style show that I was on 2 weeks ago. You can catch the VODs over there, and then he did an incredible stream this past week to celebrate 3 years with so many awesome guests, including C-Dub, and it was a really wonderful stream.
And Ryan too.
And Ryan too, yeah. So I poached all of the different people for the 3 years. But yeah, it was a fun time. Lots of great antics. I was so happy to see so many people come through from all the different years on your show. And Davey, I'm such a big fan of yours, so I'm thankful
Thank you.
you could give me some time this week and be a part of the show, and then maybe we'll have you on again in the upcoming weeks to talk about the end of these playoffs. So it's getting exciting.
Yeah, thank you, Robbie. I do want to say hi to Eddie and Ryan. It's good to see you both again. How are you doing, everybody?
Yeah.
Doing great. Good to have you here.
Thanks. Well, it'll be a quick stay for me, but Robbie, I do want to say congratulations on 3 years. It's a great run. It's never something to be taken for granted, the longevity of a stream like yours, and we've seen people make their departures from Twitch and what have you. So staying with it is no small thing at all. Keep doing the thing, and likewise to all your friends. Like, they all do a great job here. So, congratulations, my friend.
Thank you, Davey. I really appreciate it, and we'll definitely continue to talk sports in the upcoming weeks. And I'm excited, Davey, because I usually take the whole summer off, and I will announce this tonight that I will come back to do an Olympic special during the summer, even though I take a summer hiatus. So I will be taking the summer mostly off, but during the Olympics, I'll come back, and I definitely want Davey and anybody else who wants to talk Olympics with me to come on. And I know we've had a lot of fun with those in past years as well. So I know that Davey likes the Olympics as well, and it should be a really fun time. So I'm excited to both the upcoming weeks with these playoffs here, but also to the Olympics this summer as well.
Sounds good. But yeah. But anyway, thank you for having us. It's been really fun chatting.
Yeah.
It was we picked a good night for it too. It was a really exciting game right here we were watching.
Yeah, for sure. And C-Dub, I want to give a quick shout out to C-Dub Qatar. Let people know when you're streaming next, and then we'll let you get out of here as well.
Yeah, well, so I just want to reiterate what Davey said. Thanks so much for having me on, and congratulations on 3 years. It's always fun to pop into your stream and listen to you guys talk. So I'm glad to be get a chance to be on the other side of the screen here for a minute.
For sure.
Yeah, I generally stream Wednesday and Friday nights, but much like you, I have family stuff that gets in the way sometimes and other things, but that's what I shoot for. So look for me then. And I hope to have my first original out soon. It's been completed. I just need to finish up the sort of marketing / logistical pieces of it to get it out onto Bandcamp and all the streaming services. So I'm looking forward to that too.
Let's go.
That's awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you.
It's a big step, that first one. So I think that's exciting. And
Yeah, so I'm very excited about that. And
what's the name of the track?
Sure, it's called Life Among the Mighty.
Life Among the Mighty. Okay, sounds good. And yeah, definitely. Everyone should go check him out. If you want to, it's C-Dub Guitar, and you go to twitch.tv, and you can find him there. So
yeah, and you guys lucked out. You started the segment just as the third period started here. So I'll be hanging out and chat and watching the hockey. So
that's fabulous. I'm gonna grab my dog real quickly because she went in the back room and I don't trust her. But I'll be right back in 1 second. But Tim, I want to thank you as well. You've been a part of this.
Yeah, it's good hanging out
for all 8 seasons. That we've done before, and now the 9th season, and so it's been fun to watch this show evolve. And I mean, you've been in the studio doing it with me before when we first started, so I appreciate you still for zooming in and being a part of it. And yeah, I hope that you have a great rest of your week.
Yeah, it was awesome seeing you guys last night too. Have a good one.
Nice to see you, Tim. Have a good one as well.
Yeah, have a good one, Davey.
All right, nice to meet
you guys. Have a
Yeah.
good night. See ya.
Good to see you too, Ryan and Eddie. And I'll stay on for chat. And Robbie, all the best. Wait, where is Robbie?
He had to go pick up his daughter, I think.
I'm hoarding
Oh, okay.
A dog.
It's a fur daughter, you know. It's,
Right.
you know, so all right. come
Robbie's
here.
running the zone defense. He's got to kind of just go where the action is.
That's pretty good. You're a good
had almost-
multitasker.
there we go. But now we can get her on stream as well.
Hi.
Aw.
Aw, puppy dog.
Yeah. So
All right. Y'all take care. We'll
Yeah,
talk
you
in
guys.
chat.
All right.
care,
Sounds good.
everybody.
We'll see you guys in chat. Awesome. Thank
All
you
right.
guys again.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it.
See you
All right.
guys.
So we're